I think Negrense cooking and Negrense cuisine is ingrained in me. My palate, growing up with this kind of food, with this kind of cooking, I think you can never take that out of you. Even living abroad, I would look for specific vinegars. If I couldn't find any Filipino coconut or palm vinegar when I make inasal, I would try to look for alternatives to replicate it or buy expensive bottles from Filipino store because I miss it so much that I don't mind. It's ingrained in me, my palate, and the way I eat and the way I cook. My family is in the fishing and seafood supply business, so I was exposed to the market at an early age. I saw how food was prepared from the raw state to the cooked state. My eyes were open to the variety of ingredients, the variety of seafood in the markets. And of course, for the love of eating, the act of cooking got me interested. And my early influences were my grandma, my mom, and my uncle. At a young age, before I went to culinary school, I would volunteer to cook certain dishes if there were gatherings at home. And I found it gratifying that people enjoyed what I made. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to pursue this career because I like feeding people. I like seeing the results of my hard work. I enjoy menu planning very much. I'm excited to work with new ingredients. I do it in my pastime. I don't even consider menu planning work. I enjoy thinking of trying to figure out what people want to eat. And of course, these are all based on what I want to eat for myself. I serve the type of food that I want to eat myself. And I enjoy it very much. And of course, the purchasing part, I enjoy scouring the markets, checking what's new, what's in season. And of course, the act of cooking itself, I especially like roasting meat in particular. That is my favorite job. Back in Paris, during my internship, I was fortunate to be given that station, which is one of the most important stations in the kitchen, being the saucier or the person that makes the sauces and the meats. Up to this day, I enjoy it a lot because the smell of butter and fat and meat really, livens me up. Not being biased, but I think Negrense cuisine is up there with the best cuisines in the Philippines. I'm very happy that it's getting a lot of recognition, even outside Bacolod. And if you can notice, people that visit Bacolod, when they leave, they always rave about the food. And it's a good indicator that our cuisine is healthy and it's up there with the best. Ingredients-wise, of course, sugarcane being our top product. I think our sweets are the best in the Philippines in terms of variety because we have the abundance of sugar here. Our kakanins are very diverse. And of course, our inasal now is almost world famous. And our kansi is up there in the top list of street food. I think it's very exciting cuisine. It's very rich in terms of heritage because of the family recipes that have been kept in families and then passed down from generation to generation. Our food, flavor-wise, can really compete. It's just that it's a matter of presentation and then educating non-Filipinos to our cuisine. We just have to define it well and then present it well. And I think they will love it as soon as they try it. I think it's important to apply good technique. Working abroad, you see different techniques of how they present food and how much care they put into presenting food. Whereas here, we are more focused on the flavor. And I think if you meld the two, you can have a winning combination. At that time, that was a slot in a 3-star restaurant, Michelin in Paris, under a very good chef named Balad Ducas. At the time, it was the biggest challenge for me. It scared me the most. I went for it, and I was fortunate enough that my mentors trusted me to get that slot. When I got there, it was another set of challenges. As I said, the challenges keep on coming. It comes in stages and it gets bigger every time, and it is very hard work, but then the results are very rewarding as well. We have this mentality in the kitchen or the profession that we have to constantly learn and constantly evolve. So whatever challenges there are presented, we go for that. Sad reality is that restaurants have a very hard time keeping afloat. So we've seen impressive ways how to market and how to package and how to make the food attractive and suitable for delivery. What the LGU can help with the most is to be more strict and lenient when it comes especially to hygiene and protocols, especially when it comes to COVID. I'd like to point out that while this fusion and melding of cultures is very much welcome, I'd like to point out that it's very important that we stay true to our taste and not dilute our cuisine and our culture. And I think what some people do, like for example, the slow food Negros and the Arc of Taste, what they do is very important because they document our endemic ingredients. They educate the consumers, and then they encourage the farmers to keep on planting these heirloom varieties of kadyos, batuan, adlay, etc. All these ingredients that keep our Negros cuisine, fuel our Negros cuisine. I think it's important they keep doing that so that we can keep our culinary traditions. I think it's very important to keep our traditions and our cuisine alive by giving platforms to local cooks and chefs to keep pushing our cuisine forward. I think these events encourage creativity and at the same time educate and showcase what we have here in Negros to the rest of the country and to the rest of the world. I'd be very happy to see more Negrense restaurants all over the country. These days, we see some restaurants in Manila getting recognition, being distinctly Negros, and we're happy to see that. At the same time, hopefully in 20 years, we can see a Negrense restaurant in a foreign land. So to start with the modern version, let's begin with the part that takes the longer step. First, we're gonna make the stock. So this is gonna be the broth. Once it boils, you have to simmer it, put it on low fire, and make sure to skim every few minutes. When some scum rises to the top, it's important to skim it. Okay, so for the modern version of the binakol, we're gonna do a roulade of chicken with coconut and all the other vegetables you can find in the binakol inside the roulade, and then we will poach it in our circulator. We have here half a chicken that has been deboned by Kenneth, the sous chef. Thank you, Net. We're gonna line it in a layer of cling film. Then we have the boned out side of chicken, which we will place skin side down. So to start with our roulade, we will season with salt, and we're gonna layer the coconut inside. Here we have coconut meat that we trim out. Choose the chunkier cuts. Then proceed to roll it like an embutido or something, or a morcon, you want to achieve a cylindrical shape of the chicken. You want to make sure it's tight. It's important to poke holes so that you can let the air out and have a tighter gelatin. Here's your chicken balatin. After we have made the roulade, we will proceed to put it inside the Ziploc bag, or you can also vacuum seal it. Because this technique is called sous vide. It's a French technique, it means under vacuum. Seal it and take all the air out of the bag so that the contact of the heat from the water bath will penetrate the protein. You will then take your sealed balatin and cook it in an immersion circulator. So the advantage of this cooking method is that you won't get overcooked meat. The result is that you don't lose as much liquid, but then it tenderizes the meat. And no flavor, no moisture comes out because it's sealed under vacuum. So all the juices and all the goodness is retained inside the meat, which keeps it juicy and it gives it a very unique texture. So after 2 hours, we can now take out our roulade and put it in a cold ice bath to cool down the temperature and so that the balatin keeps its shape. We're then gonna chill it before we slice. Okay, so after the balatin has chilled, we're gonna pull it out of the ice bath and proceed to the slicing. So there's a cross section of the roulade. As you can see, there's the coconut, the cili leaves, and the bell peppers. We will then garnish with daon sang katumbal, which we fried. This adds another layer of texture to the dish. And also, it has a nice color. We have some edible flowers grown by local Negros organic farmers. You have blue ternate, which has medicinal purposes. Also gives the dish an interesting aroma. Later on, we'll be pouring in the broth. So the warm broth will infuse with the edible flowers like a tea. It will give another layer of fragrance. And more importantly, of course, we add in nice chunks of coconut meat to give it more texture and sweetness and to remind us that this is binakol. And we pour the broth table side. So as we pour the broth, the flowers and the herbs infuse it, giving it another layer of aroma.